Alright, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And salutations to you Akim out there listening and learning and pushing this truth. And now let's jump straight into the video. It might be a little long, not too long though. I found a video that I wanted on the economy off of MSNBC that I wanted to do. A couple scriptures on it. It's is the U.S. heading toward another recession, and it's off of MSNBC, and this is from I think like a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. This was from June 27th, so not too long ago. Today is the July 3rd, so it's a couple days ago. But I want to jump into the scriptures first, and then I'll get back to the video. The first scripture I'm gonna start with is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. We all know it. But the main point that I wanted to pull out of this is going to be in verse 6. But I'm going to start at verse 2. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. It says, "And the Lord," that's all caps, "and Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth." And we know that's talking about the scriptures. Alright? I'm not going to spend too much time on that. "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." We all know what that means. It says, "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." And we know that's talking about Esau. Esau's soul is not upright. He's just off. All right, he is just off. All right, so it says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." And we know that's definitely talking about Esau. Just go to Obadiah, okay? It says, "Neither keepeth at home," which we know that's definitely talking about the Edomites, because what? Just like the Romans, they're in everybody's land, man. That's all they do. They can't keep it home, you know. That's why that was part of the downfall of the Roman Empire. They spread themselves thin, just like America's doing. They're in everybody's business, you know. In North Korea and South Korea's business. Over there in the Middle East, you know. They everywhere, man. And everywhere that they touch, they leave a base there, you know. They never just go into a country and then fall back. No. They leave a base there, man. That's why you still got troops in Japan. You still got troops in Vietnam and all this shit, man. They all over, man. You even got the army, the U.S. military in the Caribbean, man. You know, and you know them islands supposed to be free, but no. When you look into it, they being funded by America, man. But anyway, I'm not even gonna get into. Let me stay on topic. Habakkuk 2 and 5, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death." And that's definitely Esau, man. Everything he touches, he destroys. Look at the earth. "And cannot be satisfied," and that's definitely Esau. He can't be filled. He can't have enough. "But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people," and that's Esau. He must spread this democracy everywhere. He must push his philosophies. You know, whatever. He must push his will, man. But this is the main point that I wanted to get, and I'm gonna get into the video, because we all know Habakkuk. We know this by heart, man. But I just wanted to pull this out here. "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay?" And that's what I wanted to meditate upon. To pull out of this is that thick clay, right? And we know that's talking about debt, all right? And we got it right here. Let's pull it up, right? It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe," we know woe is destruction, "to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? And that's what we're talking about here. This clay, and I said that's debt. So let's see. It's I think it's a bot, yeah, something like that.
Strong's H 5671. Avteet.
Abteet. Let's see what that is. It says abteet, right? It says weight of pledges, heavy debt. Something pledge, pawn, goods, thick clay. It's debt. It's that debt. Okay, that's what that thick clay is. That debt. All right. So let's go back. It says, let's go back to it. Let's see what it says with context. It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. And that's what Esau does. He steals everything. He steals all the resources, all the people, all the land. All right. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And basically that's what America's built upon. America's built upon you laden in yourself, because we all have drunk enough his wine, man. You know, just like Esau laid himself with thick clay, so does the Americans, man. You know, we max out our credit cards. Most Jakes live beyond our means, man. Live paycheck to paycheck, but still the flyest. We laden, laden ourselves with thick debt, getting cars we can barely afford, living beyond our means, right? That's thick clay. And the Lord said, woe to him that does that, man. All right? But anyway, that's kind of like going here and there, but let's go watch the video. All right? And I'm going to jump in like how I normally do, and let's go. This is the U.S. heading toward another recession? It's off of MSNBC.
Okay, we're keeping an eye on markets for you and your money. Here's a live look at the Dow, up about 150 points. That's 0.6%. This week, though, markets were down over fears of a trade war triggered by President Trump's latest tariffs on imports. Another thing that's beginning to worry investors.
And I've been said that how long ago? Go check my channel. I said that so long ago. I did a video on that. Trade wars lead to real wars. I've been said that. Go look it up, man. That's what popped off before World War II. Before, it's always trade war. You mess with people's money. Look at the drug game. When you mess with people's money, you go to war, and that's what trading. This is how countries make money, by trading goods, importing and exporting. Look at China. Look at everything you buy. It says made in China, that's trading. That's how countries make money. Okay? Trade wars lead to real wars. Mexico. Why is Mexico poor? Why are a lot of those Caribbean countries poor? Because of trade wars. America put embargoes on them and say you can't, like, for example, Mexico. Mexico was one of the foremost leaders of producing corn. Look it up. And America put an embargo on them saying you cannot export corn anymore. Right? You can't sell corn to no other countries, or we're going to fuck you up. And then if another country decide to buy corn from them, what is America going to do? They're going to jump on that country for buying corn from Mexico. So therefore, Mexico doesn't produce corn anymore. I.e., who takes over the corn industry? America. Look at the Midwest. We are the foremost lead. That's why high fructose corn syrup. That's why that's in everything. Okay. But anyway, that's like I said. That's how you cripple a country, man, through their trade.
Though, is the timing of the next recession. There's actually a powerful tool used to measure when one might be on the horizon, and Wall Street is starting to notice.
Wall Street is starting to notice. The apostles of GMS, starting from Apostle Tahar on down, we've been noticed. We've been warning you. Like Habakkuk said, we've been waiting to see what the Lord says, because the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and it's speaking.
By the way, I don't want to alarm you with this.
Yeah, they don't want to panic the people, okay? Yeah, we don't want to alarm you, okay? Yeah, this place is through.
I just want to tell you about it. It's called...
They just want to tell you about it.
A yield curve. In the simplest terms, it's a plot that compares interest rates offered on U.S. Treasury bonds. When investors expect...
Pay attention, interest rates. Usury. Interest is usury. That's another thing you're not supposed to do. Interest, wicked. Interest. That's how they make their money, through usury. Bullshit.
the economy to grow, longer-term bonds, see this is 30 years out here, tend to carry a higher rate than shorter-term bonds do. This is a normal yield curve. But when this
Meaning, if you put your money into a bank, I'm not saying you guys don't get it, but, layman's terms. If you say I put 10 G's in a bank, right? Normally, the longer you leave the money in the bank, the more it's going to grow. Common sense, right? That's what you want. You don't want to touch that money. So that 10 G's grows to 10, 20, 30, 40, and it just doubles, triples, quadruples. You understand? That's a normal yield curve.
Yield curve goes flat. That means rates on both kinds of bonds, short and long duration, are about the same.
Meaning when I put my money in the bank, it ain't really fluctuating, okay? No matter how long it's in the bank, it's staying the same, really.
This is the first sign to an investor that an economic slowdown may be on the horizon. People are betting on something like this happening. Now, lately, long-term bonds have been slow to rise, and at the same time, the Federal Reserve has been raising short-term rates, and that has
So if you can pay attention, you can see that from 2010, the economy it's been going down the fucking toilet, man. It's a steady down. It's not going up. This place is through. Talking about you not trying to worry you.
resulted in the flattening that we're talking about. Now, if the yield curve continues to move in this direction, long-term interest rates could actually be lower.
Inverted yield curve, okay? And that's another thing. That's how you know this place is done. Not trying to shit on this place or nothing, but when I was going to school, we learned about all this stuff in economics, civil class and stuff. They don't even teach them classes anymore, man. I don't even think they teach you how to write in cursive anymore. Cause my daughter, yeah, they don't even teach you cursive anymore, man. This place is, they not trying to teach nobody nothing because they trying to dumb the people down so you're not aware of what's going on. They trying to feed you bullshit with LeBron James and all this fuck shit to distract the people, just like the Roman Empire. When the Roman when the Roman Empire was right about to fall, man, everybody was in them damn Colosseums, man. That's all they cared about. The masses of people, distractions. They were paying those gladiators buku money to distract the people. It's all smoke and mirrors, man, just like the Wizard of Oz. But anyway, an inverted yield curve. Now, this is like, say I go to the bank. I got 10 G's again, right? I go to the bank. Normally, like I said, the longer I have my money in the bank, the more it's gonna, more money I'm gonna get. However, with an inverted yield curve, the longer you leave the money, it's like you get penalized for the shit, man. You wanna leave it in there for the shortest amount of time, which is bonkers. Don't make no fucking sense, man. That's how you know this place is done. But let me let him explain it.
Long-term interest rates could actually be lower than short-term interest rates. If you go to put your money into an interest-bearing account, you'll understand this, right? You should get more if you leave your money in for longer than you do. But if this starts to happen, this is called an inverted yield curve. The last time we saw one of these yield curves inverted, by the way, was right before the last recession hit in late 2000.
Exactly. Boom. Okay. And really, this shit was supposed to not even recover from this, but they bail the banks out. You could watch a movie called Too Big to Fail. What these devils did, because what the devils did in 2008 was they was giving people a bunch of loans for houses, because I live in Florida, and a lot of Edomites, a lot of people, they was flipping houses. That was the big craze, man. So what they was doing was they was saying, okay, you make such and such, $50,000 a year, or whatever. Normally you can only afford a house that's worth so and so, right? They were giving you fixed mortgage interest, right? Meaning that, I think it was fixed. Slack if it's not fixed, but what they was doing, they was giving you loans on houses, and then after 10 years or whatever, then the fucking interest rate would fucking double or triple, and then you could no longer afford the shit. But what they were banking on is that they was gonna sell the house before the interest rate on the house went up, but they couldn't move the houses. So you had niggas, cause I don't want to put my business out there, but I deal with houses. brand new houses, building them. And you had niggas buying up subdivisions, man. You had eater crackers coming buying up 5-6 houses in a subdivision, from New York, coming down, just buying up a whole and just sitting on the houses, trying to rob Jake, man. Flipping the houses. They bought it dirt cheap, sitting on the house, hoping that the price gonna go up and they can just cash out, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that wasn't supposed to. The economy was never supposed to recover after that, But the government bailed the banks out, covered their ass, and ever since that, the economy been fucked, man. It's a false, where it's like a false high, man, and it's inevitable. This shit it has to crash. It's first of all, it's fake money. They print the money out of thin air. You see?
And 7. In fact, this is the important part. Every single recession, these are all recessions, these thin green lines, these are recessions. Every single recession or economic slowdown.
And that's how Esau knows that his time is up, because Esau is not a man of faith. He's a carnal man. He has to see things to believe things. He believes in science. So he tracks everything. He tracks everything to the T. He knows. He studies. There's no new thing under the sun. He knows that. History repeats itself. He knows, man. He knows this place is done. And that's why he's making certain moves. Like I said, distracting y'all with that LeBron James bullshit. Going to the Lakers. I love the Lakers. I ain't watched basketball in years. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck basketball. That ain't gonna get me on a chariot.
Down for the last 60 years has been preceded by one of these inverted yield curves. That's why some economists are starting to take notice. Again, I don't want to alarm you. I'm just giving you stats here.
He doesn't want to alarm us.
Between a 2-year and a 10-year Treasury bond is...
Hold on, that don't even make no fucking sense. He said every, it's always happened, every. He didn't say sometimes, he said it's always every. I'm not trying to alarm you, but every time. So what, this is the anomaly? This is the one anomaly where it's not going to happen? Come on, man, wake up.
Is about 1/3 of a point. The last time we saw that, the worst recession since the Great Depression.
The last time we saw that, the worst recession since the Great Depression. He's not trying to alarm you, but come on, man. Let me back it up some. It's probably going to be longer than I wanted it to be, but if you don't want to watch it, turn it off.
I don't want to alarm you. I'm just giving you stats here. The gap between a 2-year and a 10-year Treasury bond is about 1/3 of a point. The last time we saw that, the worst recession.
And matter of fact, I remember, not to put my business out there again, but I had bonds. I was fortunate enough that people had so-called godmothers and all this stuff take out bonds for me when I was a child. And I remember I cashed them out when I was probably 19, and I got a good return on it. I got some good money back off the bonds, But that's what you want. You wanna hold the bond for a long time, and then at the 10 years, 20 years, you get some good change back, man.
Since the Great Depression followed soon after. Now, there were a lot of reasons for this recession that are not in place right now, but this is what Great Depression followed soon after. Now, there were a lot between a 2-year and a 10-year Treasury bond is about 1/3 of a point. The last time we saw that, the worst recession since the Great Depression followed soon after. Now, there were a lot of reasons for this recession that are not in place right now, but this is what investors and economists are actually watching right now. Joining us now is James Pethokoukis. He's a columnist and policy analyst at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank. James, good to see you, my friend. I want to just put this into context, because I can see the tweets coming already. Velshi and Rule warning of a recession. That's not true.
They gotta cover their ass.
Listen, if you get this, if you do that and you get it right, you can have a newsletter business for the rest of your life.
If you get it right, that would mean you're a prophet, which we are the prophets, and we telling you this place is through. This place is through.
It'll be fantastic. People have done more with less. No, listen, it is an indicator.
An indicator of what? It's an indicator. It's an indicator of what? What is an indicator of? That this place is through.
It is an indicator. And here's another one. Generally, every recession has been preceded by the Federal Reserve raise interest rates.
Exactly. The Federal Reserve is the whole cause, man. It's fake money, FRNs, man. That's the only reason why this shit is still floating, man.
Tightening the money supply. So whenever you have the
Soon as they just keep printing the shit out of thin air.
Federal Reserve sort of in action, there's always a risk.
It ain't backed behind no gold. It's backed behind America's might. Their nukes, their military. They threaten people. They bully people. That's why they can just make any kind of deals and back out and do whatever the hell they want. But like I said, them other countries, they have power now. The weak say I'm strong. Okay? They are strong now. So you just can't, they know. Everybody's hip to the game, bro.
That they will make a mistake, they will raise interest rates too far, too fast, and we'll get a recession. So I think it's something to be aware of.
Yeah.
We should also be aware of that right now the economy is accelerating to perhaps 4% growth and perhaps
Look at her face, because they full of shit. Watch what she's going to say. They liars, man.
fastest growth we've seen in a
Devils. That's why we call them the devil, deceivers.
while. So you can't forget about that part too.
So to that exact point, if we have extraordinary growth, if we're at full employment, how
Look at his face. Devil, deceivers.
could we not raise rates? I understand that central banks around the world had to nurture and hold the economy like a little baby.
Look at this guy's face. This guy's pouting. Because she cutting you, nigga. You a liar. Cutting you in your bullshit. We see through your bullshit.
And that central banks around the world had to nurture and hold the economy like a little baby in their bosom.
Keep rates really low so that people would borrow and expand their businesses and spend.
But you can't possibly have the president saying this is the greatest economy since World War II. Oh, by the way, don't raise rates.
Well, I mean, there are some economists who would say that because they just don't see that there's a lot of inflation. The reason you would raise rates is to sort of prevent inflation from taking off, because once inflation kind of gets its grips in the economy, it's tough to let go. You're worried about sort of financial imbalances. So, I mean,
it's fucking been inflated. Do some research.
you can make that argument that you shouldn't raise rates, though most central bankers obviously think that the risk of inflation is, I mean, they're bankers, that's what they worry about, so they're starting to raise rates gradually. And the concern is that they will make a mistake and then you'll get a recession.
How about concerns about the tax cuts? We were all excited about the corporate tax cuts and trickle down, but we were just walking through it and we're finding almost no actual raises happening at companies. It's stock buybacks and one-time bonuses. Do you see trickle down in effect?
Which is what happened. Like I said, watch Too Big to Fail, man. That's a good, very good movie / documentary, man. It's real good, man. It showed you what these devils was doing was, if you know anything about the stock market, like they put their company on the stock market, right? They make it public, so me and you can buy it. Anybody can buy it. But what the devils would do is they'd buy their own fucking stocks, man. They'd buy a shit ton of their stocks and just sit on the shit. So you know what I'm saying? So the stock would rise, man. Fucking it's kind of like insider trading. I'm not the expert on the stocks and shit, by no means. But like I said, these devils, they be doing some shady shit, man. And that's what she's kind of getting into, man. Watch that movie, Too Big to Fail.
Actual raises happening at companies. It's stock buybacks and one-time bonuses.
That's another point. Yeah, I forgot, Salakia. Yeah, that's what it was. And what happened was the CEOs of the companies started to get all the damn money because they only wanted to answer to the shareholders, right? And so basically the companies were just going down the drain. And what you see it happening now, a lot of companies are merging. A lot of the quality of shit is going down. The same thing that happened before, it's happening again. The same exact shit. I want to see this nigga. Let me come up to this.
Trickle down, but we were just walking through it and we're finding almost no actual raises happening at companies.
I know people that work for the government, got good government jobs, working at the courthouse and whatnot, and there's been a raise freeze for like the last, I'll say 10, 12 years that I know of. They not allowed to get raises. Meanwhile, the cost of livings keep going up. You know what I'm saying? So it's out of whack, man. And most households, you need two incomes to survive, man. I don't know about them other states, but in Florida, the average household need two incomes, man. This is hell. This is slavery, man.
It's stock buybacks and one-time bonuses. Do you see trickle-down in effect?
Listen, if the traditional Republican theory of how tax cuts work is true, then you really shouldn't see much impact.
Anyway, I'm off this, man. I'm gonna get into the scripts. Anyway, like I said, this place is done. This place is through. All right. All right, let's go. Like I said, Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? That's what we all ask Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. How long? But, though it tarry, wait for it, man. He's coming, man. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which is that debt, which is America, which is a lot of you Americans, man. I wanted to get this too. This is Proverbs chapter 28, verse 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance. And like I said, usury is interest and unjust gain. And you could use usury, but it's a way to do it in the scriptures. The way the Esau does it is wicked, man. He that by usury and unjust gain increase his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. And I'm going to break that down. Let's get further understanding. I know what that means, but let's get further understanding, okay? Let's go into Salakia. Alright. And so here we go. He that by usury, right? What I wanted to get, let's see what this says here. Salakia. Okay, that's what I wanted to get. Usury. It's interest. Like I said, interest. That's what I wanted to get. The definition of usury. Interest. Usury. Interest. Debt. Okay? That thick clay, that debt. That's what usury is. Alright? And that's, when you go to buy a car, anything they charge you interest on, man. That's wicked, man. And what does Proverbs say? It says, he that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it for him. Gather it for who? Gather it for us, Yasharallah. And I'm going to prove it. It says, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Okay? Because we are the poor. Okay? And he's just doing all that shit for us. And I'm going to close it out with this. Job, the main point I want to get is in, I believe, 15. Okay? Job 20 and 15. He that swalloweth down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. And that's talking about Esau. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. Alright? Because he's gotten everything through usury and wickedness, man. Alright? And to prove that this is talking about Esau, man. Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short? So this is talking about the wicked, which is Esau, the hypocrite, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, and that's Esau, man. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. You goddamn devils. They which shall see him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Alright, I'm not going to get into this too much, but like I said, he that swalloweth down riches, he shall vomit them up again. Talking about you damn devils. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. Alright? Why? Because he that, Proverbs 28 and 8, he that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Okay? But anyway, with that, like I said, hopefully it was edifying. Like I said, I didn't want to do this too long, but it is what it is. But is the U.S. heading toward another recession? You damn right, the ultimate recession, and you're not gonna bounce back from it. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.